Vamos a empezar hoy.
¿Sabes cómo vas a pagar la universidad?
La aplicación gratuita
para apoyo federal estudiantil es el primer y más importante paso para obtener una beca universitaria. Completa la del otoño anterior a la fecha que planeas empezar la universidad, empezando el primer día de octubre. Infórmate más, knowhowtogo.ky.org.
You're watching WCSD from Calloway County High School.
Many of us are tired of classes, but what if you were given the chance to take a class that could help you handle relationships better? Hello, and welcome back to Calloway Connections. Kaylee Colson here with Calloway County Jailer Ken Claud and Facilitator Deanne Binky. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having us on your program.
So let's kick right off here. What are some of the responsibilities you undertake, like daily?
Well, as Calloway County Jailer, I'm responsible for the day-to-day operations of the jail. Typically, we have an inmate population of around 165 inmates on any given day. So I'm responsible for the safety and the behavior of those inmates and supervision of the staff, which we have approximately 30 deputies that work at the Calloway County Jail.
And you, Ms. Binky?
I am the Chief Deputy of Operations there, so I'm the facilitator of the two programs that we currently have going, and I oversee staff and medical, responsible for staff training.
You mentioned two programs. Can I ask what they are?
We're currently doing Inside Out Dads, which is a parenting class for incarcerated fathers, and Portals New Directions, which is geared to get the men ready for re-entry back into the community.
What exactly is Inside Out Dad?
Well, it's an evidence-based program that they've had in the Department of Corrections in Kentucky for quite a while. But we house state inmates at our facility, so in order for them to have that program available, we had to implement it here at the jail also. It's a 12-week program where the inmates meet, once a week for 2 hours a day, or 2 hours each meeting. And they're given instruction in various parenting skills, like how to communicate with their children, and as far as disciplinary, how to discipline a child and different techniques and strategies to use, and also to kind of work on their relationships with the mother of their children, and how beneficial that is to them, the child themselves, and also to the other parent. So, there's several different aspects to this program that's beneficial. One reason that we implemented at the jail is it helps with the behavior of the inmates themselves while they're at our facility. Because if they're a disciplinary problem, then they won't be given entry into this program.
How long has the program been active for?
Well, we started the first class last fall, first 12-week program, and then we've got one currently going right now.
How long have you both been a part of it?
Well, this was, like I said, the first time we started it was last fall, so it's relatively new to both of us.
What are some of the benefits of participating in Inside Out Dad?
Well, I'll let Chief Deputy Binky handle that question.
All of the men that are enrolled in the program are state inmates, and the Department of Corrections has approved this program to be taught throughout different facilities. So all the men that complete the 12-week course and graduate get a certificate, and they get 90 days program credit for that off their sentence.
How do you determine who the candidates are for the class?
Well, there's different aspects that we looked at. Like I said a while ago, their behavior at our institution. If they're a problem, we don't want to put them in the program. So that's a critical issue right there, is behavior. And one thing is the length of their sentence, if they're going to be at our facility long enough in order to complete the program. If they're only going to be there another, say, a month or something, then there's no reason to even put them in the program.
What Like, what is the overall goal you aim to achieve with the program?
Hopefully just to make these individuals better parents overall. And, you know, I think the greatest goal is going to be a better society. You know, if people have good parents, then they're going to become good, productive citizens, hopefully. So, obviously, the parents that are in this class have made mistakes in their lives, but hopefully they can look at those mistakes, learn from them, and encourage their children not to make the same type of mistakes that they've made.
How many people on average showed up to the Inside Out Dad classes?
We try to start a group of 12. Right now we have 11 in our Inside Out Dad class, and we have 12 in the Portals New Directions. I
read in the news that you had a class recently graduate on December 23rd of last year. What was the ceremony like?
Well, we had a ceremony there inside the jail for the inmates that had completed the program. Had cake and ice cream, I think we had, and so they enjoyed that. That's not typically what we serve them, so that was a big hit with them, and gave them the opportunity to kind of give a testimony, more or less, to tell what they'd learned and if they liked the program or not, or if they felt it was beneficial. And to a man, each one got up and gave a very moving testimony, I thought, to that it was going to improve their lives as well as help with their relationships with their children. So that was very good. I felt good about having implemented the program, and I know the two facilitators, Chief Deputy Binky being the lead facilitator, and my other Chief Deputy, Julie Robertson, they're the two facilitators, and they were both at the ceremony, and all the men spoke very highly and complimentary of their instruction.
What did you feel like at the ceremony?
I was really proud of all the guys. It gives them a chance to do something out of the norm that we don't do on a day-to-day basis. Like he said, you know, they had a meal beforehand and cake and ice cream, and there were the newspaper was there, the Murray Ledger was there, and so he was taking pictures and getting some of their comments. So it was really exciting for them to do something different, especially when it comes to their children. They all love their children. They're just sometimes misguided, and that's what we're hoping to do. We're hoping to increase their awareness and skills of what's needed to be better parents. And it was just really nice to see them all doing something different that day, and for us all to interact in a different way than we do on a day-to-day basis.
Do you believe the skills that they learned will stick with them for, you know, the rest of their lives and maybe pass on to other people that they know?
Oh, that's the hope always. The hope is to increase the number of children growing up in homes with committed, responsible parents. So yeah, we're always hoping that you know, we can reach somebody and that they'll take some of the skills they learn, and they're not going to get everything they need from those 12 classes, but we're hoping that it will open up the thought process and get them to thinking about what kind of role models they want to be for their children. So, and they can build on those once they're released.
What about some of the other people that show up to the classes, like to talk with these people and, you know, help them?
Well, we don't have any like guest instruction for this class. It's basically the curriculum is very structured as far as that goes. And like I said, the two facilitators mainly just lead all the discussions. And the guys are open to. We try to make it a group conversation, so we'll have whatever topic we have for the day, and then we encourage them to, you know, kind of tell us where they've come from and what their perspective has been and what kind of role models they've had or haven't had. So it's a group discussion for all of us.
How different is everybody in the program? Like, how differently do they see the program, I guess, is the question. Like, if you could say that if they, when first told about it, what were their, like, reactions, I guess?
Well, I think majority of them that were parents that wanted to apply for the class, wanted to get in it. And you have to understand, with that 90 days credit off their sentence, that's going to be a big motivator, certainly. But, and maybe they weren't really thinking about their children, but I think once they got involved with the class itself and all the discussions that go on, I think they can't help and go through the whole class without being moved by it somewhat.
Yes. Why don't we take a quick break and stay tuned. We'll come back and talk about, a little bit more about the program.
Michael Adams?
Here.
Michael Adams?
Here.
Michael Adams.
Michael Adams.
Students who miss 18 days of school in any grade risk falling behind and not graduating. Absences add up. Keep track at boostattendance.org today.
Welcome back to Calloway Connections. I'm here with Dan Binky and Calloway County Jailer, Mr. Ken Claud. Before the break, we mentioned a program, the Portals program. Sorry, this escaped my mind.
Portals New Directions is the title of the program.
Did you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, it's also a 12-week program that the Department of Corrections has had for a number of years, but it's new to the Calloway County Jail. And basically it's a reentry type program to try to broach all the issues that inmates are going to have facing them when they are released, and to try to get a job, to get housing, transportation, other issues that just day-to-day concerns that they are going to be faced with. And a lot of these inmates have never even possibly applied for a job or had a job interview or had to comprise a resume for a job. So it's several different issues. It's 19 different modules, I believe, that are gone over a 12-week time frame. Again, as with the other program, they meet once a week for 2 hours. So we get through the program in about 12 weeks.
Is the program was it created along similar lines as the Inside Out Dad program?
Well, similar in the regard that they get 90 days credit off their sentence again, like the Inside Out Dad's program. So, it's beneficial to them in that sense. They want to get out as quick as possible, which anybody would, I would think.
Is there any other, after they take one of these classes, would there be any other help afterwards, or are they released on their own to maybe get a resume?
Well, it gives them information as far as where to seek help once they are released in a lot of cases, like identification as far as getting a birth certificate, where they need to go and who they need to see and what forms to fill out, things of that nature, to get a driver's license, and to obtain a loan if they needed a loan to borrow a car, things of that nature.
What are some of the other things that go around day to day to the jail that maybe we might be able to talk about?
At the jail? Well, it's a very busy place. I'm in my second year of my first term, so it was kind of a surprise to me, the activity that goes on day to day at the jail. Actually, Deanne Binky here has been with the jail, 20 years almost?
Yes,
so she's
over 20.
Very used to, all the activity that goes on there. Prior to becoming jailer, I ran for this office in 2014 and began my term January of 2015. So a lot of it is still a little bit new to me, but we are trying to make some improvements here and there, and these inmate programs is one of those areas that we're focusing on right now.
What would you say your experience has been from first beginning to now?
Oh, it's a lot of changes in 20 years. I guess with the main thing is the type of inmate we get. That's been a huge change. There's a lot more there's different types of drugs, I should say, out there, and it's had a longer lasting effect on some of the individuals that have been involved in some of the substances that have come around in the last 20 years. So I guess, and we have, mental health situations. I think that's increased over the years. It's just changed. A lot of the paperwork is different. There's a lot of different programs that DOC has started. And of course, because we house state inmates, we're required to comply with those regulations too. Just over the years, the medical has increased. Like I said, we've got different type of inmates now, so they require more care and more observation. So.
My mom used to work at the jail, and she always had some pretty exciting experiences. Yeah. I would imagine that still goes on.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us today. Like, it was really interesting to get to know more about these programs and kind of jobs that go on inside the jail.
Yeah. Sure.
It's Calloway Connections. Kaylee Golson, thank you for joining us.